Well, hello everybody again. Doug Rucker here with DougRuckerStore.com and DougRuckerSchool.com. Hey, I posted a picture the other day on a skid I'm building for my truck and had quite a few questions and texts about it, questions here on YouTube. So I just thought I'd do a quick little run through on it. It's not completely ready yet, but that'll give you kind of an idea of where we're at, what we've done, and all of that. So stay tuned for that coming up next. Okay guys, so this is the skid that I had posted pictures of the other day, and just kind of thought I'd go through it with you a little bit. I'll try to make it as quick as possible, but also don't want to miss anything. But this is a 6-foot skid. It's going to go into my Toyota Tundra. It's a 2005 or whatever. I just absolutely love that truck. I've had it for quite a few years. But this is basically what you call a short body skid, but it's got plenty of room for what all I need on it. It's going to have the big slinger soft wash system. You know, we have the Kingslinger as well as the big slinger. I'm going to put the 3/4 valves on it. That's mainly the difference between the two. The Kingslinger has the 1/2-inch GF valves, and it has 3. The big slinger we make with just the 2 valves, one for water, one for bleach, and you can add your soap to your bleach like I always do. Even on the Kingslinger with the 3 valves, I never used the 3 valve or the 3rd valve. I just always add my soap to my bleach. Just never found the need to meter soap. But anyway, this is the Kingslinger compressor. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. It's got the lower handles. It has a little bit larger gas tank. It does not have a fuel pump, so I can't run the fuel line to the gas tank, but I feel like the gas tank is large enough that I'm going to pretty much be able to run this all day, or definitely for as long as I want to work. So we've got that. We're going to probably take the compressor fitting here and put a 90 on it and angle it over towards the big slinger station once we get it put on. Then over here we have an 8-gallon per minute pressure washer, cold water pressure washer. We've got a little check valve that we're going to put on for the gas. We got those off of Amazon, I believe. We used them on a couple of rigs and they work great. So just to keep the gas up at the carburetor when we put the gas line on right here. So we'll actually put the check valve down by the tank at the bottom here. We'll insert it there. That way it just keeps the gas up. It doesn't sink back down if it hasn't been used for a while. So we did a little unloader work, kind of shifted the unloader around so it's not bulging out or sticking out that way. This is the outlet hose that will go over to the pressure reel, which is right there. Got a 12-gallon gas tank. Like normally I would just run the fuel line. One of these would be a fuel line that would go to the air compressor, but since it doesn't have a fuel pump, we're just going to use the onboard gas tank for the compressor. Okay, everybody, don't forget, as I mentioned in the video, that this rig is, one of the reasons I was building it is for the training that we're doing in Cocoa, Florida. That's February 22nd through the 24th. The first day is hands-on training, going to teach you how to clean a building, how to clean exterior surfaces, concrete. We're going to teach you how to clean a roof. All of that is February 22nd. Then February 23rd is the Difference Makers Conference with myself and Jeff Blackman. My wife will be there as well. We'll have Kelsey piping in via Zoom for money matters that you'll be able to actually ask her CPA questions if you need to. And we're also going to go over during that portion a part of pricing, how to price your business so you never have to ask somebody else, how should I price this? We want you to know how to price it as it pertains to your business. So that's an all-day difference makers conference, and then Saturday, February 24th is going to be parking lot striping. Jeff is going to teach how to stripe parking lots. We'll have a portion of classroom training where we'll go over all that kind of stuff and the marketing, the ins and outs of parking lot striping. Then we'll also go over the marketing, handicap laws, stuff like that. And then we'll actually go out to the parking lot of the church, and we're going to stripe the entire parking lot. So you'll be able to use the equipment, you'll be able to stripe some lines yourself and get a good feel for that. Great thing to add to your business, or just start up parking lot striping as a standalone business if you'd like to. So that's February 22nd through 24th. And then also, don't forget, February 12th and 13th coming up is our next hands-on training for the Houston area. Anybody that wants to come in, we always have people flying in from, various parts of the country. So all of that, you can go to pressurewashingschool.com/events, and you can get registered for any or all of that you want to, okay? By the way, one of the main reasons I built this little skid for my Toyota truck is I call it the Cocoa Rid because I wanted to have something smaller that I can drive to Cocoa for that training and have my own equipment. I had some guys there that I could have got their equipment out there, but I like just using my own equipment because I know everything about it and know all the nuances about it. But so it was mainly for the Cocoa, but I'm also going to be doing it for point training. I've been doing quite a bit of point training lately, and that's personalized on-site, individual, next-level training. We have some customers and clients that like us to come out to their job site, their business, whatever, and do some on-site training. So this will be something that's nice and easy to drive around, various states that I go to, and do that as well. So these tanks are 100-gallon slimline tanks. Got these from Connor here locally at over at Elite. He does skids. As a matter of fact, the skid came from him as well. But I got the skid from him and these two tanks. So he does skids. He does fabrication. He sells these 100-gallon slimline tanks that are great. And they also sell bleach over there. So if you want to get with Connor, his phone number is 775-781-4153. But he's also in some of the Facebook groups if you want to get a hold of him. These tanks are 46.5 in length going this way from end to end. They are 16.5 deep going that way, and then the height, they are 32 inches high. So they're very thick walled. There's a lot of these kind of slimline tanks that are thin. I've had a couple of the thinner ones bust on me actually, but anyway, these are great tanks. The only thing I don't like about them is the caps are vented. So we're going to figure out a way to make it so, especially on the bleach tank, so it doesn't vent. Because we vent with a hose, so we'll have a hose coming out of here so it can vent. We'll run it down through the bottom, drill a hole in the back of the truck so the fumes can vent out like that, instead of what will happen is if the fumes come out of the top, they go down, so it'll attack pretty much everything on your trailer, your skid, your truck, whatever. So we'll figure out how to get this so it's not venting, so it can vent through the hose. We also have a bleach tank mod kit that we sell for filling. We'll have this hooked up to a hose so I can fill it from my tank at my house where I get my bleach delivered to. So basically I'm never having to open this lid because what happens if you open this and then you're filling your bleach, when your bleach hits the bleach that's in there, it starts off-gassing and coming out. So that bleach is going to come up, it's going to go down, and everything's going to eventually start to rust. So you're going to have rust problems anyway, no matter what truck, no matter what truck or trailer or skid you have. But this just really helps eliminate a lot of that. A lot of that rust. It's just a lot faster if you don't vent your bleach tank properly. I know that from experience. Kevin Enderly is a guy many years ago on Pressure Washing Institute that posted about doing that, and I've been pretty much doing it ever since. So we also have a bar here that keeps the tanks from sliding around or moving, and then we've got a tank here in the middle, and so it keeps the tanks from bulging. But like I said, they're very thick, so I don't think there'll be a whole lot of problem with that anyway. Then we've got all our uniseals. Raimondo, by the way, is doing all the build. He's got all the uniseals ready, so we've got one for the soft wash system, the big slinger. We've got one for downstreaming, and then that's the water tank. And then over here, we've got one for soft wash for bleach, downstream for bleach, and then this is where our fill hose will go for us to fill the bleach tank up. We'll actually have a piece of 3/4 hose in here. It goes all the way to the bottom so that when we're filling and there's soap in there, you're not getting suds and stuff coming out because it's not creating an air gap. So very important if you're gonna do a fill like this for your bleach, that don't have it just kind of spray in from the top. Take your hose or your drop tube all the way to the bottom. So over here we've got the 3 Hannay electric hose reels. For years I've always been using the Hannay electric reels. I've had some of the King's reels, manual reels. I've never actually tried their electric, but I've used their King's reels before too, and they're excellent reels. But I always like these Hannay, especially in electric, because I've just never had issues with them. So this is going to be the water fill. So we'll have, this is the water fill, the middle one here. So you can see we've got our swivel here hooked up to our 3/4 hose, and it's going across to the water tank. And then underneath there is the Topaz float valve that will shut the water off when the water gets to the top. So then when we start using it, the float valve lowers and the water starts filling it up. So I've used 100-gallon tanks on 8-gallon per minute pressure washers many times and rarely ever had an issue unless we just had a water supply problem at the job. And if you've got a water supply problem, you're going to have a water supply issue in your tank, whether it's 100-gallon or 500-gallon. So that's the water fill tank. That's the soft wash hose for the big slinger. And then over here we'll have 200 feet of Fierce Jet 1-wire pressure hose, probably the best hose on the market. We've sold tons of it, never had anyone call us back and complain or had one bust, or that I can remember. If we did, I mean, it's just been very few. And so that's the solenoid in the bag and the switch. And then here we've got a 40-amp circuit breaker. We'll actually install a custom plate that Raimondo makes and put the circuit breaker in that. If you have a Hannay electric reel, if you don't put this circuit breaker in it and attach it to all 3 of them, then it can void your warranty. Of course, if you're a professional electrician or doing this kind of stuff, I imagine you could run it to one big circuit breaker, but we do all 3 of them individually, and we just know that's going to cover us. So all that's going to be powered by the way we're putting the battery here right between. I think that's what we're going to do. We haven't bolted it down yet, but the battery for the pressure washer as well as the hose reels will be here. And then I think I'm going to do it there because it'll be easier for me if I ever take the Softie with us on a job. I'll show you that in a minute. It would be easy to hook it up there. The other place I was thinking about putting it was back behind the gas tank, but I just purchased one of the front 9 sprayers. I got to see that last weekend at the Front 9 training and was very impressed with it because I don't have room to carry 4 or 5 different spray jugs on here, pump up sprayers, and we do use pump up sprayers. This Front 9 sprayer is an electric sprayer that you can just hook up to an outlet to charge it. But the beauty of it is you can have 2-gallon jugs in it, which is what I carry for pump up sprayers, and easily change those out. So now I'll only be carrying one sprayer, but I'll have 4 or 5 different jugs that I can take. Depending on the job, I may need to only take a couple. It just really all depends. So I'm thinking about maybe putting it right there, strapping it to that brace somehow. But it's still a work in motion. We play around with it every day. We don't bolt anything down until we know that's where it's going to go. That's why the machines are bolted down, compressor's bolted down, but the battery is not. Raimundo and I are still discussing that, talking about it. I should have the sprayer here early. I'll probably have it already by now, and we'll put it in there, see what's going to work best. So that's the Softy 12-volt system. We occasionally will take this on certain jobs if we've got some banks, and there's just certain jobs that sometimes there's apartment complexes right by it, right by the job or whatever. For whatever reason, we just want to use a quiet soft wash system. Sometimes we take it if we've got really big jobs and need a backup in case something happens with the compressor, whatever. But it's got the 12-volt flow jet. That's the only 12-volt pump that we sell anymore. We just never had an issue with these. I know some guys that have run these for a few years, and they just absolutely love them. The valves are the Hayward valves, but that's just on mine. We normally put the Sahi valves when we sell the Softy through the store. So that's what I was talking about, and putting the battery there where it would be kind of easy to hook it up, but again, we haven't decided. But most of the time when I carry this, I just put this in the back seat of my truck and put the seatbelt around it, so she's tenderly, lovingly cared for. Treat your equipment good. So that's where it would sit, is in the back of the truck, in case you're wondering. So we also have room in the back to fit my 24-inch U-handle Steel Eagle surface cleaner. I just absolutely love the Steel Eagle surface cleaners, especially the 3 nozzle bar that's underneath. It has virtually eliminated any type of striping issues that we have, as long as we keep the nozzles changed out on a basis, because those nozzles, you got to remember, it's a V shape that it's coming out, and the more water that goes through them, those nozzles will slowly start widening because it's wearing the metal off just from water erosion, like water can do on pretty much anything. So I've got extension handles on it, so it comes up a little bit higher. That's just for me, that's the way I like it, but plenty of room for the surface cleaner, and we'll just strap it to this pole right here. And actually what we do is we lock it to the pole using a cable lock. So that's the surface cleaner. By the way, on the water inlet, we use our water inlet modification. It's on our website as well, I believe. But that's 1-inch hose coming up, and then we've got it banjoed and fit into the Y strainer filter. But we do this because we can take this off, and not while the engine is running, we can fill a 5-gallon bucket or one of our spray jugs or whatever. We can drain the tank easily. We actually have a cap that can go over this if we need to cap it. But that's how we do the water inlet on pretty much all of our rig builds. Very convenient, very easy way to drain your tank or fill up 5-gallon jugs, wash your face, whatever. So I think that's about it. Oh yeah, so the Flow Pro downstream remote system, we're going to be installing that as well. That's another thing that Raimondo and I are going back and forth about, where we're going to install the box. I don't really care about the light on the box. I never pay attention to it, because the remote makes an audible beep when you make contact. So if I'm on the back of a house, I can't see the darn light anyway. I just listen for that beep. So I'm not concerned about trying to get it to where I can see the light. We're just talking about the best place to put it so that there's not too much, wiring, and it's easy to access if we need to, all that kind of stuff. So we've got to do that. And then, oh yeah, the ladder rack. When I got the skid, the ladder rack was a little bit taller than I wanted it. And so I took it back over to Connor, and he cut it and lowered it. And so now the bottom of the ladder racks, especially up front here, is just going to be a couple of inches above my the bed of my truck. So it's going to be easy for me to fit it underneath my house. We have a house on stilts. Any of you students that have been to my house know I have a house on stilts and park underneath the house. I also have a barn, so it's going to fit in either spot very easily. Plus, I just hate skids that have ladder racks that are so tall that you have to use a ladder to get your ladder. I just want to be able to grab it from ground level. It's very easy to do that with this system, with this ladder rack at the height it is, and then so easy to put it back on as well. So today is actually Sunday. It's, what is it? January 21st, something like that. So we've got a lot of rain coming in next week. But by the way, you guys in cold weather states, mad respect for y'all. We just had a few days of weather in the 20s, and man, I don't know how y'all do it up north. Kudos to y'all, mad respect. How y'all do this every day in the winter, just living every day in the winter times, I have no clue. But anyway, I say every year during the summer, I can't wait for winter, and then as soon as winter gets here and we have some cold days, I'm like, I can't wait for summer. I don't think I'll ever say I can't wait for winter again. But that's probably an age thing. I'm just getting old. Hey, anyway, I got a job coming up. We've got a job coming up next weekend, a commercial building wash that we'll be using this on, so I'll shoot some video. We've also got some commercial accounts, maintenance accounts, and stuff like that we've got to use it for. But the first time we're going to use it is hopefully after all the rain here next week clears out, and use it next Saturday. So I'll shoot some more footage once it's in the truck, and using it and all that from the job site, hopefully. I say hopefully because a lot of times I plan to make videos a ton on job sites, and I get out there and I just get so zoned in on doing the job and doing it properly and doing it right that I just don't take the time to shoot videos. But hopefully next Saturday I will. At least something short and sweet anyway. So, okay guys, yep, so that's it on the skid. I just want to remind you, if you need a skid built out, any type of rig build that you need, whether it's for a trailer rig, enclosed trailers, enclosed vans, Sprinter vans, we've done it all. And we're not, I personally, when I build things out, I try to go for the most simple, basic things that you need so that you can get out there and make money. So, we don't do a lot of the gas soft wash systems. We can do them. I just think they're unnecessary. I know a lot of people think it makes them more, they can spray higher, and they can, spray farther and spray faster and all that kind of stuff. If I thought all that, I'd be using one. I've used them before and just had nothing but headaches with them. So that's why we stick to the air diaphragm or the 12-volt systems. I've had booster before. I've had all of these things. I'm probably the only guy that's had all these things: gas-powered systems, air diaphragms, 12 volts, boosters, and some other stuff too. And I've had them all 3 or 4 different times, just going back and forth. And so I've pretty much settled on this basic type of setup. You need a pressure washer. You need something to downstream. The Flow Pro is great to help you save time. but it's not a must. You can still downstream without one. The air diaphragm, the Kingslinger and Big Slinger systems, I think are very dependable, reliable. The FlowJet 12-volt pump, that's the only thing that I'll sell now. We had issues with the Remcos and some of the other brands out there, but the 12-volt FlowJet, as long as we've been selling it, we haven't had a single issue with them. So I really try to look out for my customers and just get them the basics. So if you want lights in your tanks and lights around your trailer and all that kind of stuff, we don't just normally do that. We try to talk people out of it, because my feeling is it don't help you clean anymore. It may make you look good. It may look cool going down the road, but cool don't pay the bills. So we try to talk people out of that kind of stuff. Sometimes they want it, but for the most part, we've been able to talk people out of that kind of stuff, and maybe they do it on their own or get somebody else or whatever. But if you want dependable rigs built, great service after the fact, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you be successful. We can't make you be successful, but we can certainly help you and come alongside you and do what we can to help you. So just keep that in mind. Email me at info@DougRuckerStore.com if you're interested in any type of equipment or build. Doesn't have to be a build. We even have 4-gallon per minute pressure washers to help you get started. You can get started with a 4-gallon per minute pressure washer. This unit here comes with the gun, the wand, the downstream injector, the nozzles. You can add a surface cleaner. You can add a J-rod nozzle setup, and you can be out cleaning houses and driveways for under probably $3,500 and get your business started and then build it from there. So, a lot of people are going to ask, what was the price on this? This is going to fall probably between $12,000 and $14,000. I have paid for everything that's on this rig. Connor can tell you, I came over and paid him. Actually, they invoiced me, and I paid him for the skid. I paid him for the tanks. I paid for these reels through the store. I paid for the pressure washer. I went and bought the Northern Tool compressor at Northern Tool. The Big Slinger, all this stuff I have to pay for. Trust me, my wife makes me. And I've never, ever gotten anything free from the store. I always pay for everything because it's just the right thing to do for my business. So, yeah, some of the stuff I get a little discount over what some other, customers get, but that's a perk of being the owner. But everything's paid for. I don't get this stuff for free. I'm like y'all. So that's one of the reasons I like basic and simple. I just don't spend money on unnecessary stuff. So anyway, email me, info@DougRuckerStore.com. You can also text the store, 281-612-1223, or you can WhatsApp me, 281-883-3630. Okay, guys, hope this has been helpful for you. So don't forget about all the trainings we got coming up, the Houston training. We've got Cocoa coming up in February. Go to pressurewashingschool.com/events. Also there, you can check out the online video school if you can't make it to any of those and you're starting a pressure washing business. I promise you that this online video school will help you drastically cut your learning curve, and there's nobody else out there that's got the content that I've amassed over 10 years of having this online video school. So that's at pressurewashingschool.com. I think you can click up top. It says online school or join or something like that. So yeah, check all that out. And any questions, comments, leave those below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you get notified whenever I come out with videos. And then leave that comment, leave that question, whatever I can do to help you. And by the way, I have many of our customers that will text me on WhatsApp and send me pictures, videos, jobs that they're on if they need help. I answer as promptly as I possibly can, but that WhatsApp number is 281-883-3630. So whether you're a customer or not, but you're in the business and you're stuck on something on a job and you feel like you need some help, if I can answer it, I will certainly answer your question if I don't know, because I don't know everything, then I'll certainly let you know that as well, but I'll help you find the answer if I can too. So y'all have a very blessed day. Hope to see y'all in Cocoa, Florida, man. It's going to be awesome. You do not want to miss it.
Hey, get online, register today. I wouldn't miss this for nothing in the world.